Hi guys, welcome back to the garage. The sun is out, the clocks have gone forward, everything's looking bright, which is wonderful news. I've been sitting outside having my lunch on the patio. The only downside is we've just been told it's going to snow at the weekend. But hey ho, a few days of this is better than nothing at all. So a little peek of what's to come, I think. So fingers crossed for a good summer. Anyway, back to the Vespa engine build. It's all going back together now. If you watched any of the previous ones, please have a look. They're on the playlist for Vespa PX. If you're new, please subscribe, hit the like, all the stuff that YouTubers say, because it does help the channel. So anyway, our victim, as usual, is on the bench. So let's get stuck in. Right guys, there's where we left it. Crank in. We need to put the cases on now. So we have to remember our little kickstart cog, which fits there, because that's what turns your engine over. And then we need our gasket. Now, Piaggio say that you don't need any sealant on the gasket halves, and I have no reason to doubt them. They just need greasing. Now, these case halves are in exceptionally good condition, so I'm quite happy just to do that. So we will apply grease to the whole surface. No need to go mad, we're just making sure it's all covered. Slightly messy process, but hey ho. Slightly awkward to get at that bit. Grease on there and on there. Right, and then our new gasket, which goes on like so. Yes, fits beautifully, as I would expect, being a genuine item. Lovely. And then our flywheel half, which has the kickstart spring stuck down with a bit of grease to stop it falling off as I fit it. So we will grease this side as well. The kickstart rubbers, which fit in there, are also very good, because that's another area that is potentially a problem, but they're absolutely fine. I'm going to put some oil on our two bearings. I've got an oil can somewhere, but I'll just use my finger. As you can tell, I'm not one to worry about getting oil and grease on my hands. I've done it all my life. If you're younger than me, it would probably be very wise to wear mechanics gloves. It's too late for me. Whatever I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with. So I don't care. But if you're young and you've got your whole life in front of you, don't be stupid like I am. Line up our flywheel side. There we go. That's it. Yep, all the way down. So now we're going to fit our nuts. Got 4 in there, and then the rest are nuts and bolts, if I remember rightly. I'll turn you off for that, because it is literally just refitting the nuts and refitting the case bolts, which you saw when it came apart. So I'll bring you back when I've done that. We'll talk about what we're going to do next. Right, they're all snugged up, not properly tightened, and the official tightening torque is 9 to 11 pound-foot. So we'll give them a quick crack diagonally for these 4, and then work our way around. Oops, a daisy. Right, so You don't need to see me do them all. You get the idea. I'll bring you back when they're tight. Right, that's them all taut. So now we need to fit our flywheel oil seal, which came in our set. A little bit of oil around the outside to help it in. Now this should just be a finger tight job. Should be. And I'm hoping it is. Oh. Okay, I'm not going to be lucky. So we can use our bearing driver to knock it in. Yep, flush all the way around. Oh, maybe not just there. It is now. Right. Now next I would normally fit the flywheel, but I'm still looking for the bolts. So we shall move on and leave that just for a minute. Right, the next thing we need to do is check our crank will turn. Yes, there we go. There we go. So we'll turn around the other side and do some work around there. Now, what shall we do next? Just get that lined up. We'll put a clutch on, I think. I'm not going to put the little idler wheel that was on there that I took off earlier back, because there's no need. I'm just going to put some two-stroke oil in our bearing just to make sure it's well lubricated. The other bearings were oiled earlier, if you recall. Make sure there's plenty of oil down in there. Every time I turn this crank, it's in the wrong place for it to turn easily. Anyway, my hands are oily as well. Right, so we're going to fit the clutch. So we need our spacer like so, and we need our Woodruff key, which fits in there. A nice fit. That needs to go on there like that. That acts as a spacer for the clutch. And then I did a separate video on clutches, and I'm using the Koza, which didn't fit when I first got the scooter, but I think that's because it was dirty. Anyway, it's easy to turn the crank now. Right, so there's our Koza, and we bought a new nut and washer for that. Which is a wavy washer and in a flat flanged nut. Good. Now then, let me go and find a torque setting for that. Right, I'm just going to fit a clutch holding tool and then we'll tighten it up. It's just a simple bent bit of metal and a bolt through one of the clutch housing, which are another set of bolts I can't find at the minute in all the stuff I got. So it looks like we're missing them as well as the flywheel bolts. But anyway, we shall worry about that in a second. So we need a socket for that. That one is 14mm. And then we need to refer to my little list. 30 pound foot. Which that doesn't go up to. Right. I can't find my other torque wrench. This goes up to 28. So it's close enough for the minute. I'll do it to 28 and then re-torque it when I find my other torque wrench, because it's close enough to keep us going. Right. Right, there it is, torqued in. Our new pressure plate with clip. Now I mentioned in the clutch video that the ones with the cut-off were for the 200s, but that's for the older style clutch. This Koza, which is obviously a 125 Koza, 150, has got the cutout as well, so as usual I was talking rubbish. So you can't get it wrong really, it fits in where the cutout goes, and then you just have to push the metal clip back until it seats, like so. Good. And then our clutch cover, which I've yet to clean, is going to go on like that. There is a large O-ring which I believe came in the gasket set. I shall have to look. A large O-ring round the edge. No, it didn't come in the gasket set, it came in the seal set. So that just goes round there. You can use a bit of rubber grease around the outside of it to help ease its passage, and also to aid its sealing if you wish. So that'll bolt on there like that, and then when I've cleaned it, our little brass bush will just sit in there and be greased, both where it sits and the surface slightly, because it's going to rub on there. So I need to find some bolts to secure that, but that's what's going to go on. That's going to go on there like that. Job done. Right. I could really do with sticking that in place before I mount the rear brake plate, but I haven't got those bolts. And then we're missing a breather as well. Let me have a look, see what I can find. Right, there should be a dust seal in there, but as you saw there wasn't, so I'm not going to bother refitting one for the minute. It's clearly managed without one so far. So we need some seal for that, seal for that, seal for that. So they're all joined together in the packet, so I'm assuming that will go on there, which it does. Not very well, but it does. And they will go on there, which they do. And there should be a bigger one for around there, which there is. So that will seal off our brake plate. And there it is. Only go one way, thankfully. And then there are little screws to hold it in place. Which don't line up with anything. So we'll fit our back plate the right way around. Stupid me. And then the little holes for the screws line up, unsurprisingly. Ah dear. There we go. Wipe the oily dust off that. And then our shoes can go on. Right, small amount of copper slip on the studs and the mount, and a small amount where the brake shoes sit. Now Really what you should do now is put masking tape on your brake shoes so you don't contaminate them while you're fitting, because this can be and often is a struggle, as you're about to find out. I'm not sure there is an easy way of doing this. I'm just going to have to give it a go. Now then. There we go. Right. Lovely. And then we need to put our little clips on, which, as we know, can also be an irritant. But not this time. Oh. Now then. That was the old one, which I thought was quite tight to begin with. But this new one's even worse. Let me just get some pliers. There we are. That's a tight little so-and-so. There we go. Right. Shoes on. Working. Rear hub, which we have here, and again it's in amazing condition. No wear marks on that at all. Zilch. So that fits on our little splines like that. We're in gear. Right, now then, we did have a large washer, which seems to have disappeared. Where has that gone? Wavy washer. Oh, wrong wavy washer. No, my memory must be playing tricks with me. So we have a flat washer. I thought we had a wavy one for that. Maybe it's for the flywheel. Anyway, so that needs to be tightened up. With that. Now there is a torque setting for that as well, for which we need the even bigger torque wrench. And the rear hub nut is 65 to 72. Right, is protected with cloth, unlike my feet. Right, the con rod is trapped, protected by cloth. Oh my word, can't get it any tighter than that. And then we need our security device. There we are, and a split pin. Just trim that down. There we go. Right. So, clutch cover bolts, which I've got to find from somewhere. Flywheel stator bolts, which I've got to find from somewhere. That's that, we do the top end.